Welcome to Royal Secret. There are few moments in royal history when the veil of formality gently lifts, revealing a raw, tender, human truth. And when it does, when a queen becomes not just a monarch, but a daughter shattered by grief, something extraordinary happens. The world pauses to listen. Queen Mary of Denmark, usually a symbol of elegance, duty, and resilience, recently allowed the world a rare glimpse into her soul. And what we found was a woman still mourning, still searching for meaning, still holding on to memories of the one person who shaped her before she became royalty, her beloved mother, Henrietta Donaldson. It is difficult to find meaning in losing someone you love. These words, spoken with quiet pain and reverent love, were Queen Mary's heartbreaking tribute to her mother. They echo with a universal truth that transcends thrones, crowns, and borders. In this video, we dive into the life, the loss, and the legacy behind that single sentence. This is not just a story of a queen. This is the story of a daughter. Before the palaces, before the international spotlight, before she was ever known as Crown Princess or Queen, Mary Donaldson was just a girl from Tasmania, raised in a loving household by Henrietta Donaldson, a remarkable woman in her own right. Henrietta, a Scottish-born teacher, instilled in her daughter values that would one day define a future queen: compassion, humility, intelligence, and an unyielding strength. She was Mary's anchor, her moral compass, her most loyal supporter. While the world often sees Queen Mary in silk gowns and glittering tiaras, those closest to her know she carries her mother's simple wisdom in every royal engagement. When Henrietta passed away suddenly in 1997, Mary was just 25 years old. It was a loss that struck her at her very core, just a few short years before she would meet Crown Prince Frederik of Denmark in Sydney during the 2000 Olympics. Henrietta would never witness her daughter ascend to royal status, never walk beside her through the gates of Amalienborg Palace, never see her become queen. That pain never truly fades. Queen Mary has always worn her grief with grace, but rarely has she spoken so openly about it. In a poignant tribute during a private event organized to support bereaved families, Mary finally shared what many suspected: that she still wrestles with the loss. That even as queen, the emptiness of losing her mother remains a quiet companion. Her voice did not tremble, but the silence between her words spoke volumes. "It is difficult to find meaning in losing someone you love," she said, gently but firmly. That single sentence shattered the invisible walls of royal stoicism and allowed the world to see the wounded heart beneath the crown. It's a confession that resonates not only with the bereaved but with anyone who has loved deeply and lost profoundly. For Queen Mary, grief is not something to overcome. It is something to live with, to carry, and somehow, to use as fuel for empathy. Those who have followed Queen Mary's journey as Crown Princess and now as Queen of Denmark often note her extraordinary compassion, especially toward vulnerable families, children, and those battling illness or loss. Now we know why. Every charity visit, every comforting word to a grieving parent, every hand she holds in silence, these are tributes to Henrietta. These are Queen Mary's ways of keeping her mother's spirit alive, not through grand monuments or public tears, but through service. Indeed, it was Queen Mary's memory of her mother that inspired the founding of the Mary Foundation in 2007. The foundation's mission to combat domestic violence, social isolation, and bullying is deeply personal. Henrietta was a woman of quiet activism, who believed in lifting others up. Her legacy lives on in the lives the foundation changes every single day. The transition from commoner to Crown Princess was never going to be easy, but for Mary, it was made even harder by the absence of her mother. At her wedding to Crown Prince Frederik in 2004, the moment every bride longs for, seeing her mother's face among the crowd, was instead a memory and an ache in her heart. Her eyes searched the cathedral, her smile bright but edged with sorrow. That day, and so many others that followed, becoming a mother herself, attending state events, navigating personal challenges, have been marked by a silent wish: if only Mum were here to see this. That loss may never fully heal, but in speaking about it, Queen Mary did something revolutionary. She gave permission to millions of people around the world to feel their grief too. To acknowledge it, to live with it, to speak it out loud without shame. We live in a world obsessed with perfection, and nowhere is that standard more rigid than in royal life. Yet Queen Mary has broken that mold not with rebellion, but with grace and authenticity. Her confession is a turning point, a moment of vulnerability that paradoxically showcases her greatest strength. In a monarchy rooted in tradition, she has shown that modern royalty must include emotional truth. Her role is not only to lead but to relate, to rule not just with law and lineage, but with love. As she continues to represent Denmark on the global stage, Queen Mary does so with the invisible presence of her mother always near. It's in the way she comforts a crying child, the way she pauses to really listen, the way she smiles through sorrow. Henrietta's daughter is not just a queen, she is a woman walking the path of grief with courage. Queen Mary and King Frederik now stand at the helm of a new era for the Danish monarchy. Together with their children, particularly Princess Isabella and Prince Christian, they embody a future rooted in family, integrity, and emotional intelligence. The lessons Henrietta passed down now flow through generations. When Queen Mary watches her daughter Isabella give speeches, or sees Prince Christian prepare for the weight of kingship, one can imagine her thinking, "Mum would have loved this." Her confession is not an end, it is a beginning. A beacon for others who carry the same burden. A reminder that even queens cry, that even royalty needs to mourn, and that the most powerful legacies are not written in royal decrees, but in the quiet strength passed from mother to daughter. As the world continues to celebrate Queen Mary for her poise, her diplomacy, and her modern spirit, let us never forget the woman she was before she was royal. Let us honor the young Mary Donaldson who once held her mother's hand and learned what it meant to be strong, compassionate, and kind. Let us remember Henrietta Donaldson, not just as the mother of a queen, but as a woman whose love and wisdom ripple through Denmark's most beloved royal. And let us sit with Queen Mary's words for just a moment longer. It is difficult to find meaning in losing someone you love. Maybe the meaning, dear Queen, is that through your love, your memory, your work, and your voice, your mother lives on. And now, dear viewers, we ask you, have you ever lost someone so close that finding meaning felt impossible? How did you carry their memory forward? Share your story in the comments below. Let Queen Mary's words open the door to healing, for you, and for someone else who might need it today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment to support this channel and ensure powerful stories like these continue to reach hearts around the world.